Hi, we're going to continue looking at indices with fractional powers, but we're going to turn it up a little bit. So in our second key skill, we're going to look at fractions. So if I've got 16 over 81 to the power of a half, how do I do that? Well, that half needs to go on both the 16 and on the 81. So the first line here, I'm going to have 16 power a half divided by 81 power a half. Now, if you remember from the last tutorial, the number on the bottom, the 2 here and the 2 here, these will be the roots. So we're looking at the second root or the square root. And the numbers on the top, they're going to be the powers. So on the next line, I can change from the 16 power half to 16 inside the bracket, and I'm going to have the square root or the second root. Now remember, we don't usually write the 2. If you want to write the 2, it's not wrong. You won't be deducted any marks, but normally that's left blank. And on the outside here, we're going to put the power. So there's the 2, although it's imaginary. I could just write it in with the square root and the power on the outside. We're going to do exactly the same for the 81. So inside the bracket, we're going to have the square root, the bottom number of 81, and outside the power. Now, here's where it becomes important that you know your square roots. So the square root of 16 is 4, and that's because 4 squared, or 4 times 4, is 16. That's power 1. Similarly, the square root of 81 is 9, and that's because 9 squared, or 9 times 9, is 81. Both of those are now power 1, or staying the same. We talked about in the last video, if you have a number power 1, the number doesn't change. So 4 power 1 is still 4, and 9 power 1 is still 9. So if we look at a quick recap of what we did, if you have an indice, any indice, not just a fractional indice, on the outside, you put it on both the numerator, the top number here, and the denominator. Then you work through using the principle of power on the top, root on the bottom. Doing the root first, getting the answer, and then putting the answer to the power on the outside of the bracket. Let's do one more example here. Inside a bracket with a fractional power. So now we're going to do 2/3 or 2 over 3. Remember, that power needs to go on both the numerator and the denominator. So that can be our first step. So we're going to have 8 power 2 over 3 divided by 125 power 2 over 3. The first thing we're going to do for both of these is put our root sum. So we're going to have the cube root of 8 squared on the top and divided by the cube root of 125 squared on the bottom. Now, the cube root of 8 is 2, because 2 times 2 times 2, or 2 power 3, 2 cubed, is 8. So the cube root of 8 is 2. Now we're going to look at the denominator. The cube root of 125 is 5, because 5 times 5 times 5, or 5 cubed, is 125. So that's going to be my answer from the cube root. So if you look, I put the power on both of them separately. I started with the roots. I did the cube root of 8 and the cube root of 125. And now in this next step, I'm going to work out the squared. So 2 squared is 4, because 2 times 2 is 4. And 5 squared is 25, because 5 times 5 is 25. Stick around for the next video because we're going to start with negative fractional indices next. The team at Maths with Sophie have made a free ebook to go with this video series. We've broken the topic down into small, manageable sections. Each section has a video tutorial that you're already watching, interactive questions, and model solutions from exam questions. To claim your free ebook, you don't need to download anything, you don't need to sign up for anything. You simply click the link below and it will open in the web browser of your phone, tablet, or computer. If you enjoy using our free ebooks, make sure you check out our website because we have other ebooks on different topics.